Hi you guys, this is Rachel Kirkland, the Modern Shaman. Thanks for being with me for another YouTube question and answer video of the week. I am glad you are here, and if you are new to my channel, you will know that I always invite you to go to my website, which is themodernshaman.net. There's just a ton of resources there, and really, if you're interested in anything like this, the topics that I talk about, any sort of shamanic heritage and roots, a sense of native connection or primitive connection, sessions, one-on-one sessions with me in terms of mediumship, future probabilities, past life viewings, healings in terms of soul retrievals and shamanic drumming sessions, and elemental balancing through the chakra system. All of that's available on the website, as well as my teaching curriculum. And if you like this type of thing, which is basically just like free content of instruction, then you will love my teaching platform. It was made and created for you all, and just to help you in a way that feels really step by step, to where you can download those video modules at your own pace, or the entire curriculum together. Like, you can do them one by one individually, or you can download and commit to the entire masterclass. I should say I have an upcoming launch that I'm super excited about, which you may have seen on this platform, because I am creating a kind of a marketing plan that has to do with getting ready for that launch. But the launch date of my new curriculum is August 1st, and we are starting to open up to the business level of spiritual entrepreneurship, and helping people that feel like they want to use their spiritual gifts to sustain their lives and to step in a purpose infused life, to where they feel like they can truly offer what it is that they have been given as a divine gift, and serve humanity with their gifts. And so that is really exciting, and it's coming up in August, and that will also be on the website. Tons of information there. So I am looking forward to kind of following up. These videos are great free content, but again, the website is just a hub of resources. If you want to know more, or if these videos kind of leave you hanging and you're scouring through the content and archives on on this YouTube channel of the years, go to the website, check it out, and there's a little bit more one-on-one developmental education, as well as time with me that you may want to schedule to help move you through times of wanting clarity and understanding in your life. Okay, enough said about that. I just get so excited when it comes to the teaching platforms. Okay, here is the question for the day. Rachel, I want to know about all things herbalist. And I've been watching you and your channel long enough to know that you always have reference books for all things awesome. Can y'all see my library? I'm pointing backwards, my small little library there that I keep with me of all things awesome. It says, so I would love to know history and all of that. Do you have any other authors or titles that I should check out when it comes to all things herbalist? Yeah, but you know what? I learned a lot of my stuff from my mom. She's the best resource, I will tell you that. My mother, and that's just a gift, a blessing that I've been given. She was a registered nurse and went through traditional Western education for medicine, but her heart was always a naturalist and herbalist and apothecary. Like, she would make her own little medicinal ways that she would tell us to heal, and I believe them, and they worked. And so a lot of that healing was through food and diet, and always being aware of how that was impacting, and I always felt like that was her go-to. So I can't really give you my mom, but I will tell you that an overall mindset that if I am getting sickness on this earth from the intake of what I'm putting in my body, then I should give special attention to that first and foremost, and let the natural components of what we're surrounded with, if we can use those things to bring disease, then we can use those things to bring healing in such an equivalent manner, and to always kind of have that mindset. It sounds like you do if you're interested in herbalism or wanting to be an herbalist. I by no means am an expert in it. I'll share what I know in the books that I love off the top of my head. You know what book I really love, and it's not so much herbalist like curriculum, but I love Braiding Sweetgrass, which just came out recently. And I'll have to look up that author. I can't remember her name. But she was a botanist and also just a native, and had a heart for the life of the plants, the spiritual connection within plants. And I love that book. It was more so like storytelling, and but it's combined with a sense of honoring and understanding particular plants and flowers, and kind of finding that personal balance of how to live within the modern world and how they view nature, and how to honor your spiritual roots and native connection to just the primal sense of the earth, and how that serves and loves you. So anyways, I love that book. Let me think. So there is a book called Native American Medicinal Plants, which I have. I don't have these books in here. I keep them in my kitchen. So, because I cook with a lot of these things, and that's kind of how I use my sense of apothecary kitchen, is I just add the herbs into a lot of things that we eat in the household. But that book is almost like an encyclopedia. It's pretty dry, but it's a great resource book just to have and use at your convenience, and just always have available, like, what is this and what is it used for, and just kind of like general knowledge. Again, like an encyclopedia, Native American Medicinal Plants, but just great resource book. Another one is Home Herbal. That book, really, it's great all the way around. And I love the pictures in it. If you're like me and you're like a picture person when it comes to recipes and things like that, I am way too clairvoyant. Like, everything, you guys, comes to me in pictures. I don't know. I cannot get out of that. Is just how my life is integrated. So it works great for me when books and things that are more so like literal use pictures. And I love that this one, Home Herbal uses pictures. It also kind of even like gives recipes. It gives like what it's for. It gives medicinal information of how you can use it to impact certain cures, and just what it's good for and how it can be used. It's a great resource, and like I said, very visual and user friendly. So it's a great one to have on hand. Let me think. History. I think that Native American Medicinal Plants, I'm looking at your question again, is the best one in terms of like history as well, because it connects you to. And Braiding Sweetgrass kind of talks about that too. It connects you to why certain plants were honored. There's a more modern, recent book that is fantastic, called the Native American Herbalist Bible. And this one also goes into more, well, it goes through the plants, it goes through the details of them, but it also has how to use them, how to put certain ones together, like a sense of apothecary nature. And it's very pure. She has like a purist heart about it, to just, there's nothing, it's just simple and pure, and like, here it is, this is how it can be used, this is what it, and this is how to integrate it into your life. I think those are my biggest, and they all kind of have a different voice to them and can be used in different ways. That one's a little more modern, but I think it's more accessible to the way that you would probably use herbs now, because so much of the way things are used now, people put things in just a dispensary for aromatherapy. They put it in their spritzer of perfumes. They use it to sage certain areas. I mean, we use things in such a different way now. It's great to have a resource all the way through. So those are my books that I would recommend for you. And honestly, just getting to know the herbs yourself. If you are interested, there is no better way, just like spiritual curriculum, than to go out to plant them yourself, to get a garden, an herb garden yourself that is a living, breathing entity that you are in communication with, that you are in love with, that you have a sense of knowing the plants like people. They have their own personalities and their own traits. They just same with stones and rocks. When we learn about their qualities and how to integrate them and how they speak to us. So I think that would also be a big suggestion, is to create a living garden on your own with herbs and get to know each of them in a living, qualitative way that is personal. Because the integration of them, meaning when you begin to eat them, or no matter how you work with them, if you take them sublingually, if you take them through vitamin powders, whatever, or on your food, like I talked about that I do a lot with my kids and the way that we cook here in our household. No matter what way you take them, it's going to be a personal integration through your own body and your own system. And so anytime that you can get yourself, your family, as a part of the living, breathing life of that plant, like raising it yourself, putting your own hands in the soil, your own energy, giving life to the life-giving plant, it creates this cycle and its own little circadian rhythm, that natural primal cycle to planting and having bounty and ripeness and the fruition of plants that begins to be sustaining in a way that is so profound, because your own life energy is giving to the plant and the plant is giving itself to you. So this is a beautiful cycle that if you have the space and the time and the desire to be an herbalist, I would suggest that first and foremost is creating that living, breathing cycle and communion with what you're doing. That's going to make everything more infused with high vibrational connection and health and vitality, and it's going to feed you and heal you in a completely different way than if you had just bought it. And I'm not talking about, like, I mean, you can always support local farmers, you can always support other people's systems that where they have a garden and they sell it in the local markets. That's also giving as well, but it's just my suggestion. If you have the time, then create that sense of communion with what it is that you are implementing into your body. That's going to have a lifetime more power than something that is outside of you, because it is part of you at that point if you gave your energy to create it. So anyways, I hope those books are a great resource to you and really just inspiration for this kind of next phase in your life. And for those of you guys that, like I said, are new to this channel, you can always send in your questions. I answer these by you guys sending in your questions on my website. Go to the contact form, type it in, and just submit it and state that it's for the YouTube channel. I would love to see you back here next week. Bye, you guys.